everybody. Hi. Okay, so welcome to our final series of natural health. I'm excited because today I have my dad with me, and he is a marriage family therapist, so he's going to be giving us some tips on managing stress naturally, as well as some testimonies about some different products that we have that he has suggested and used with his clients. So, welcome. Dad, you want to give us your introduction?
Yeah, hi, I'm Lindsay Watson, and yes, I've been a family therapist for 27 years, and through those years I've learned a lot of different skills to reduce stress and anxiety, and my primary focus in the last few years has been trauma recovery. And one thing I notice is a lot of people carry anxiety and a lot of people carry depression, and one of the things that I've learned recently with the use of doTERRA oils is it's been real positive, because many people who have taken Xanax or Valium or Ativan or some of those benzodiazepines that are pretty addictive are finding that they're able to get off that medication with the use of some of the oils, especially one of the new oils, which is Adaptive, which just came out in October. And it's an amazing oil because it does really help people that have anxiety and helps them stay off of synthetic drugs.
Yeah. So do you want to tell us so we have a couple of the Adaptive, if you haven't heard about them yet. The Adaptive comes in both the essential oil blend and in the capsules. So you've recommended both of these?
Yeah, what I do with clients that have anxiety in the office is that I put the oil on them, either the oil itself or the roll-on oil on them, and have them smell it and experience it. And they're usually able to experience a certain amount of anxiety relief right there in the office. And so then I either have them purchase the roller. And I also tell them about the tablets, because the tablets can be taken, as often as needed, but usually people take them once or twice a day, and they get it systemically as well.
Yeah. So it's really designed to be a system like that. So aromatherapy is really powerful when we're talking about stress, and especially like on this topic of through the holidays. I'm going to let my dad give some tips on that too. But for me, aromatherapy is one of the best ways when I just start feeling stress come on, to just be able to have something like the oil just to start with throughout the day as often as you need, to just take some deep breaths with the oil, and then obviously putting it on too, because the oils that are in here going right into your bloodstream are helping with calming as well. But the fastest way to really change an emotional reaction is to breathe them in, is for it to be aromatherapy. It goes right into your olfactory gland in your brain, which is where emotions and memories and things like that are triggered. So aromatherapy is an amazing tool to have for managing your stress. And then obviously, like he said as well, the capsules to just have every day. And a lot of people have told me the longer they take these, when they're taking these once a day, and I've noticed myself too that there's more of like a long term, I can just tell now I'm better, and it's become part of my routine. So what were you going to say about some other things about anxiety and depression and through the holidays?
Well, a lot of people that experience anxiety and depression tend to not even be aware that they're not living in the present. A way I describe it is anxiety lives in the future and depression lives in the past, because there's really nothing we can do about the past, and we can all bring something up from the past and beat ourselves up and feel bad about it. But the past is gone. I tell people to imagine taking a backpack off their back and put it in the sand. That's yesterday, and it's gone. And tomorrow is where anxiety lives, because we worry about what's going to happen next week, next year, and we waste a lot of emotional energy on tomorrow, and we also waste a lot of emotional energy on yesterday. The fact of the matter is all we ever have is the present, all we're ever going to have is the present, and all we've ever had is the present. So if you can get a little bit better at living one day at a time and not worrying about tomorrow and not beating yourself up for yesterday, you're going to carry much less anxiety and much less distress.
Yeah, that's really good. I've never heard that before. He just told me that this morning. So I needed to hear that too. So there was a couple other products you maybe wanted to talk about or share testimony about, right? Other than just the adaptive.
Yes, some of my clients also have difficulty sleeping, and they also end up taking things that aren't good for them. These are all natural. The oils are all natural products, and so there's no synthetic or side effects to them. And people that take Ambien or Lunesta, some of the pretty heavy sleeping pills, and don't want to do that anymore because it's not good for them, or even Trazodone for some people that take that for sleep, or even Seroquel, some people take that for sleep. They're all not that good of a medication, and so Serenity is it's called the Restful Complex from doTERRA, and people have
This is a capsule too.
that have found
these are
out
awesome.
that if they take a couple of those instead of the other medications, that it helps them sleep more naturally. And so I do have quite a few clients that are using that. And then also I have a decent amount of people that have pain or chronic pain or joint pain or different types of persistent pain or pain off and on. And so I also use the Copaiba caplets for them.
Yeah,
And
so Copaiba, the essential oil, topically and internally. Internally is just really easy, right? Like for the systemic, but this is amazing for pain. I've also heard lots of people say that this is really good for emotional support. I think a lot of the times, though, like pain physically is linked sometimes to emotional pain. I don't know if you notice that with people, but like they have both maybe sometimes. So, but Copaiba is really good for that too.
yeah.
Cool. So, do you have any, so you said you've noticed right away people with the adaptive oil even. Do you have any really good testimonies from anybody that's noticed with the capsules yet? Like they've been able to take this instead of, you listed some supplements or some pharmaceuticals for sleep. What about for
Yes.
adaptive?
Adaptive, like as I said, people that have taken benzodiazepines like Valium or Ativan, Klonopin,
Right.
those are medications that are used for anxiety. They're designed for acute anxiety. Like if you get in a car wreck and you're in quite a bit of anxiety, they're appropriate for like a week, but they're not appropriate to be taken regularly. And a lot of people take those regularly.
Right.
And that's really a problem, and it can be, they are addictive, and it can lead to an addiction. So that related to that is I also have quite a few clients that have addiction, alcoholism or drug addiction, and the Copaiba is quite helpful with that, especially with marijuana addiction, which is prevalent, and people who want to stop smoking marijuana. Copaiba is really helpful because it is a non-THC cannabinoid, correct, Kelsey?
Yeah, it's a cannabinoid.
So it's whereas with CBD oil you're taking the cannabis and you're removing the THC. With Copaiba, it's its own natural plant that doesn't have THC in it, so it's completely a non-THC cannabinoid. And so people that start taking Copaiba, they're able to gradually stop smoking marijuana or using marijuana. And finding that to be very helpful as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have a lot of people using the capsules of Copaiba for that.
Yeah.
The oil as well. I know some people will just do drops under their tongue. That's a really fast way to use the Copaiba. I like it that way too. But the capsules are just really convenient. So the Copaiba for sure. I didn't think about that in terms of addictions for other things. So I have heard a lot of people say with addictions too that a lot of it is linked to stress and emotions and stuff. So if you have an addiction with something like whether it's a drug, alcohol, whatever, sometimes if you can start using something natural like the adaptive or whatever to help with your emotional stuff, that's going to help you then when you have the trigger, you feel the need for that, whatever it is, a cigarette or whatever, that this might be able to help you break that addiction too because it's linked to that emotional thing. So
right, and one of
that.
the best testimonies about that fairly recently is I've been working with a woman who who struggles with alcoholism, and she was able to go back to work if she was taking Ativan, but they told her that Ativan is a substance that they wouldn't let her work on as well because it's an addictive substance, and she works in I won't say for her confidentiality, but she has a pretty important job at a big company, and so they would not let her take Ativan either, even though she was using it as a way to not drink. And so I started her on the adaptive caplets and the adaptive oil and the rollers, and she loved them, and she is very optimistic. She's now starting back to work and is feeling like that works as better, if not better, than the Ativan was.
Cool. I don't even know what Ativan is, but that's awesome. So
Ativan
that was to help
it's
with,
a benzodiazepine. It's like Valium,
but it was to help with her alcohol addiction too. Wow.
Yeah, but what it does is a lot of times with when you detox from alcohol, if you just go off alcohol cold turkey, it can make you really sick. In fact, it can give you seizures. So doctors will give you a benzodiazepine for a short period of time to taper you out of your addiction, and then often give it to them more regularly, and that's when I'm wanting to intervene and help them not have to take it regularly.
Yeah. Wow, that's neat. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. I hadn't even heard that one yet. Well, okay, so definitely these three, you guys, we want to encourage you for pain and also emotional stuff. Copaiba for anything to do with sleep. I know some people even take these during the day. I've heard people say that for calming, for anxiety. And then obviously the adaptive. This line is just so complex and just been so helpful for so many different people with different things. I've had so many different testimonies come in from, people with like ADD, ADHD, kids using them even, to anxiety, depression. Like, this isn't just like a pharmaceutical where there's one thing, and it's just going to help that one thing. That's what's really powerful, is it's going to do different things for everybody. So if you've struggled with any of those things, I would definitely recommend these three. And that's what my dad's recommending too. And obviously the oil as well. So if anybody has any questions, this is like a free therapy session, you guys. So if you have any questions, please comment below. Ask us any questions you have for my dad, and I can tag him in this so he can come later and answer questions for y'all as well. And tag any friends or anybody you know that this would benefit them. And if you have some friends that might like to try this and they don't want to buy any yet, let me know. I'm happy to give samples to people and things like that as well. And this may even be something you think of as a really good gift for Christmas for someone that you may struggle with this. So once again, it's really cool because no side effects, helping people get off things they're addicted to. These are just really, really beneficial and also very affordable. All of these products are like $30 or less for 60 and 30 and I'm sorry. So very affordable, it's definitely worth it. And mental health is a serious issue right now with a lot of people. I know I've heard a lot of you guys too, friends of mine, struggling with this. So share with us, share your testimonies, let us know what questions you have. And thanks for tagging people too. So, and thank you, Dad. It was awesome. All right, you guys. That's all we got.